Hello everyone. Welcome to Stat Skill Hub. I'm Dr. Asha Jindal. Have you ever looked at a graph of sales, prices, or population and wondered, where is this actually heading? That direction is called a trend. And today I'm going to show you the four simple methods statisticians use to quantify it. By the end of this video, you will be able to calculate a trend line by hand and even check how accurate your prediction is using two powerful tools, mean absolute percentage error and root mean square error. Let's get started. Trend is long-term direction in which data is moving up, down or flat. Once we ignore these small ups and downs, which are seasonal changes or random noise, we study trend so we can understand the past and make sensible prediction about the future. There are four common methods used to assess the trend: freehand graphical method, semi-average method, method of moving averages, method of least squares. First method, freehand curve fitting. This is the easiest method. We plot the data points on a graph, values on y-axis, time on x-axis, and then draw a smooth line or curve through the middle of the points. No formula, no calculation. Advantages are very simple. Anyone can do it. No mathematical formulas needed. It smooths out irregular ups and downs in the data. Advantages are it is subjective. It depends purely on personal judgment. Different people may draw different trend lines for the same data. Because of this, it should not be used to make serious future predictions. Let's now apply everything you have learned to one real data set. This is the data set. In this method, we plot the export sales of each year on graph paper. The year are shown on the x-axis and export sales are shown on the y-axis. These are the points. 1981, 12 is one point. 1982, 15 is another point. So like that you have to plot all the points. After plotting all the points, we draw a smooth freehand curve that passes as closely as possible through the points. This curve helps us understand the overall direction of the data. In our example, the curve shows that export sales generally increases over the years, even though there are very few small ups and downs. This method is easy to understand and gives a quick visual picture of the trend. But since it depends on personal judgment while drawing the curve, it is not completely accurate. Next method is semi-average method. Here we split the data in two equal halves, early years and later years. We calculate the average of each half and plot each average against the middle time point of that half. Joining these 2 points with a straight lines gives us the trend line. This method is simple to apply, but it can give poor results if the trend is not roughly a straight line. It only works well when the trend is linear or nearly linear. To the same data, I am applying semi-average method. Since we were having the 9 years of data, which is an odd number, We leave out the middle year 1985. Then we divide the remaining years into two equal groups. The first half contains the data 1981 to 84 and the second half contains the data 1986 to 89. Now we calculate the average export sales for each half. For the first half, the total exports are 62 millions. So the average 62 divided by 4 becomes the 15.5 million. And the middle year of the group is 1982.5. For the second half, the total exports are 85 millions, giving an average of 85 divided by 4, which equals to 21.25 million. The middle year of the group is 1987.5. Next we plot the 2 points. 1982.5, 15.5 and 1987.5, 21.25. Just see, first point is this, second point is this. Finally, we join these 2 points with a straight line. This line represents the trend according to semi-average method. Next method is moving average method. In this method, we replace each value with the average of itself and a few neighboring values. This is the moving average of a chosen period M. Averaging smooths out the random noise and reveals the underlying trend. If M is odd, the average is placed against the middle year of that group. If M is even, the average falls between 2 years, so we do one extra step called centering, which is averaging 2 consecutive moving averages so the final value lines up with an actual year. Advantages are no personal bias. The trend values come purely from averaging. Simple to understand and apply. Flexible. Adding new data does not change averages already calculated. Removes the effect of repeating cycling patterns if the right period is chosen. Reduces random fluctuations, especially with a long enough cycles. Demerits are we lose trend values for first and last few periods. Extreme values can distort the average. It can sometimes create cycles that were not actually present in the original data. It does not remove irregular fluctuations completely. It gives no mathematical formula for the trend, only a set of smoothened numbers. Now, let's understand the moving average. This method removes short-term fluctuation and helps us identify the long-term trend. Looking at the plus, how do you put the plus sign? 15 is greater than 12, so plus. 18 is greater than 15, so plus. 17 is less than 18, so minus. Like that, you put the plus minus sign, and when you look at the plus and minus pattern in the data, you notice that one complete cycle repeats every 4 years. Therefore, we use 4-year moving average. First, we calculate the total of every 4 consecutive years. For example, 1981 to 1984 gives a total of 62. 1982 to 1985 gives total of 66. 1983 to 1986 gives total of 71. And we continue the process until the end. Since 4 is an even number, the moving averages falls between 2 years. To place them correctly, we calculate centered moving total. So here 62 plus 66 gives you a total of 128. 66 plus 71 gives you the total of 137 and continue the process. After centering, we divide each centered total by 8 because two 4 years totals have been combined. This gives us the centered moving average. The trend values obtained are 16, 17.125, 18.375, 19.625, 20.75. These moving averages smooth out irregular changes and clearly show the increasing trend in the export sales. Our next method is method of least squares, or also known as linear regression trend. This is the most scientific and most widely used method. Instead of eyeballing a line, we fit a straight line mathematically so that it represents the data as closely as possible. We fit a line of the form y is equal to a plus bx. The line is chosen so that two conditions holds true. First one, the sum of all deviations of actual values from the line is 0. It means summation yt minus y equal to 0. The sum of the squared deviation in the smallest possible value, summation yt minus yc whole square, equal to minimum. Because of the second condition, this line is called the line of best fit and the method is called the least square. To find the constants a and b, we solve these two normal equations together. Summation y equal to n times a plus b times summation x, and summation xy equal to a times summation x plus b times summation x square. There is a tip. If you assess time x as the deviation from the middle year, summation capital X becomes 0. This makes the maths much easier. So your value of A becomes the summation y by small n and B becomes summation xy by summation x square. Advantages of this method are deviations of actual values from the trend line sum to 0 and their squared sum is the minimum possible. It removes personal bias completely. It is a fixed mathematical procedure. We can extend the line to estimate future values. Advantages are it involves more calculation than the other methods. It is not flexible. Adding new data means recalculating everything. It assumes the trend is a straight line, which may not be always true. Even so, because of its accuracy, this method is used most often in practice. Finally, let's study the method of least square, which is considered the most accurate method for assessing trend. Since we have 9 years of data, we take the middle year 1985 as the origin. So we calculate capital X equals year minus 1985. This gives X values from minus 4 to plus 4 and the sum of X becomes 0. Next we prepare the table with 4 columns: X, X square, XY and the export values. Now we calculate the required total. The sum of y is 163, The sum of x is 0. The sum of x squared is 60. The sum of xy is 66. Using these values, we calculate the constant. First, a equals sigma y divided by n. That is 163 divided by 9 equals to 18.11. Next, b equals sigma sum xy divided sigma x squared. That is 66 divided by 60 equals 1.10. Now substitute these values into the trained equation. The trained equation becomes y hat equal to 18.11 plus 1.10x. For example, to estimate export sales for the year 1991, x equal to 1991 minus 1985, which is 6. Substituting this into the equation, we get 18.11 plus 1.10 into 6, which gives 24.71 million. So according to least square method, the estimated export sales for 1991 are 24.71. And if you draw, you can get the estimated trend for all the past years and then plot on x-axis the x values, on y-axis export value, and when you will plot with original data, you will see the series of ups and down, and when you will plot this trained line, hence the least square method provides the most accurate mathematical trained equation and helps in forecasting future values.